Here they are. Hello everyone, my name is Daniel. Now I have a question for you. What do you use 200 times a day without even thinking about it? Do you have any idea?
Brushing my teeth.
Your teeth? You brush your teeth 200 times a day?
Kind of sometimes.
Seems a little excessive.
No.
The device that I'm actually thinking of is a cell phone. On average, you pick up and you use your device 200 times a day. That may seem a little high, it may seem a little low for some of you, it just depends on the type of person you are. People are on their phones so much that Apple came up with a screen time recorder that lets you know how much you're using your phone, for what apps you are using your phone for, and it allows you to limit your screen time as well too. And people are not liking the results, such as that 200 times a day. Now, the fact that we are getting on social media and phones so often is actually impacting our mental health and our physical stability as well too. I chose this topic because I've never been really good with social media. So I decided to delete all of it except for 2 social media platforms to see how it would affect my mental stability, and I have seen leaps and bounds of improvement. The 3 topics that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today are the studies that show a correlation between social media use and anxiety. Almost all the medical studies that have been done have had negative correlations between the amount of use of social media and mental health. The second topic I'm going to be looking at today is social media and its use of technology, applying limits to people today and their ability to think for themselves, causing negative effects on motivation and production. The final topic are the things that I do and that you can do to lower your use of social media and actually find improvement in your own lives with mental relaxation. Let's begin with how prevalent technology is in today's society. Technology is everywhere. You have it in your phones, you have it in your cars, you have it in your refrigerator. You can check your Instagram on your refrigerator now. I mean, who wants to even do something like that? Kids get cell phones at younger and younger ages nowadays as well too. I personally work at T-Mobile, and the amount of people that we have coming in wanting to get a phone for their kid is alarmingly high. The ages are getting lower and lower. We even sell watches now for kids who are ages 3 to 4 years old. That way, if they ever get in an emergency, they can be contacted. What I'm trying to get about with this is that we are constantly connected to society. Each and every single one of us is constantly on the grind, constantly having to update and let people know where we are. There are also so many ways to communicate now in today's society. There's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, and even MySpace. Such an old, outdated platform that nobody ever uses anymore, but there were studies that were found that showed that there's increasing anxiety in 18 to 22-year-olds. Now let's think about this. Technology was very prevalent, but it only became a major issue come the 2000s, where we today 18 years away from 2000. So these kids who are growing up with technology constantly incorporated in their lives are having more and more mental health issues. 25% of kids are online constantly. That means they're always checking their phone, they're always playing video games, they're always on some sort of technological platform. When I was young, I would play outside and use my imagination, I would use my cognitive skills, and I've become a much better mentally healthy person for it. Whereas my little brother, he's constantly playing video games and he has lost a lot of motivation for school. He does not seem to function very well and he has a lot of anxiety issues. Now, these are just some of the studies that have been done. Let's go ahead, let's check how it has affected people in everyday lives. We've become less self-sufficient. Technology is causing a shortage of construction workers. People becoming less knowledgeable about construction and spending more time with technology and social media has caused a 40% job decrease in the construction market. YouTube is replacing manuals and putting tools into people's hands. Even though technology can benefit and allow people to take advantage of situations they may not know about before, it will allow them to take care of things that they may have not been able to do before. Now, something I want to bring up, you can see all the social media platforms that I have behind me. Now, let me go ahead and pull up, of course, technology doesn't want to work when it's trying to. That's okay, I'm going to press this guy here. Here's a good quote. Now, social media is based on the fact that you are viewing into other people's lives. I recently watched a movie with Louis C.K. and his daughter, and he was having a conversation. She asks, "Why does she get one and not me? It's not fair." And Louis C.K. replies, "You're never going to get the same things as other people. It's never going to be equal. It's not going to happen ever in your life, so you must learn that now, okay?" And his final quote is what really got me. "Listen, the only time you should look in your neighbor's bowl is to make sure that they have enough. You don't look in your neighbor's bowl to see if you have just as much as them." Seeing other people online and social media is seeing moments in time where they were happy. They aren't at this constant state of happiness. You should base your happiness from your own worth and not other people's worth. My favorite example was a How I Met Your Mother episode where it was Thanksgiving and they would always take a photo. Now they would look back at these albums and see that they were so happy and having so much fun, but then they would flash back and see that Ted was bringing over another girlfriend for just this 1 year. Barney was messing up the punch, and Marshall and Lily were both having an argument that night. And then it flashes forward to the photo, they're all on there for 1 second, cheese, and then right back to their old antics. Having to update people constantly is like having a mom and dad even after you become independent. You're always having to tell everybody where you've been, where you're going, how much fun you had, what did you do the other day, and it just seems like such a hassle. So we've discussed social media and what it's doing mentally. Now let's discuss ways that we can all curb and control that. The first thing to remember is social media isn't mandatory. We don't all have to be on it all the time. You can choose 1 or 2 social media platforms. For example, I only use Instagram and Snapchat. I use it to keep in contact with my international friends, but I prefer not to use Facebook, simply for the fact that Facebook has been in the news quite recently as well too, for a lot of privacy leaks, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of other reasons that social media through Facebook, I just believe, shouldn't be used. Another thing you can do is you can limit your screen time. There are multiple apps out there that can help you improve how you consciously use screen time. For me, again, when I used that app, I had no idea that I picked up my phone and unlocked it 200 times in a day. I, on average, had about 3 to 4 hours of screen time. That is quite a lot. That's at least 1/8 of my day just gone like that. Setting aside 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the day to catch up on things rather than checking it throughout is definitely a much healthier way for you to catch up and see the news rather than having a constant battle of, oh my gosh, they look so good, or oh my gosh, they seem so happy. Just be happy for yourself. So we've talked about ways to reduce our social media usage. Now let me conclude with this. Reducing social media can increase our productivity and happiness in everyday life. Imagine a world with less media giants and focusing more on the here and now compared to others' dreams. Social media is detrimental to our health. It's causing knowledge deficiencies that are difficult to get past, and the tips and tricks we can use to limit our usage of social media will definitely help that. And finally, I leave you with this. Social media has improved my life, allowing me not to just focus on what others are doing and achieving in little moments of their lives, and allows me to embrace the wholehearted happiness of my own personal life. I want you to limit how much screen time you use every single day and become more conscious about what makes you happy rather than being happy for others and wanting to be in their shoes. Thank you. Just show the audience.
Good. Well done. Well done.